Welcome back, 8th grade. Now that we're into solving our quadratic equations, we shouldn't take as long for the videos because it's algebraic, not graphing. And drawing the graphs and walking through how to make those graphs takes a little bit more time. So let's get started. We have some vocab. Yes, I'm telling you what a quadratic equation is. When we do a quadratic equations, we are setting them equal to 0. So one thing to note, quadratic functions, when we refer to quadratic functions, that's when we have both the y and the x. Quadratic equations, we have it equal to a number. The standard form is equal to 0. So our answers are going to be, we're replacing y with 0. So when we talk about the roots of the equation, these are the solutions. Solutions are answers of a quadratic equation and the x-intercepts of the graph. So in this picture, these are the roots. Okay. And from this, I know that my answers, x will equal -2, because 1, 2, -2, and 2. And that's how we find our roots. All right, so moving on. So this first example, we're using the graphs to find the solutions for each equation. So when I'm looking at this, right here, this is my equation for the first graph, and I need to find my solutions. Well, this is where they cross the x-axis. So my x will equal, and I didn't do it on the last one, but if they are the exact same, you can write -1 and 1, or just like when we were finding square roots in chapter 7, we can write this as plus or minus 1. Okay, and it's both. Both of those are solutions. We cross at both of those points. All right, so this would be a 2 solution, right? 2 solutions. Sometimes it may ask you how many solutions will you have. On this one, x squared equals 0. So looking at this, there's my point. It only crosses the x-axis in one point, so x just equals 0. So this would be an example of one solution. Our vertex is on the x-axis. We'd only get one solution. My vertex is, it all depends on the way it's opening up. If it's opening up and my vertex is below the x-axis, then I'll have 2 solutions. If it's opening down and my vertex is above, then I'm going to have 2 solutions. When we look at x squared plus 1 and we look at this graph, you notice that there is nothing is crossing that x-axis. And so we say that this is no real solutions. And yes, we have to specify real, because mathematicians, for some reason, have to have an answer to everything. And so they invented a whole set of numbers called the imaginary numbers. For this case, exactly. That's an Algebra 2 thing. So you've got a couple years before that. But we have no real solutions to this one. And so this would be an example of 0 solutions. And you're really going to get that when you're opening up and you're above the x-axis, or you're opening down and you are located below the x-axis. So just some thoughts. So that is how we solve using a graph. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to solve algebraically. I'll see you there.